We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Well, hello. JFK here on a Saturday afternoon to have a wee bit look over the game today that we're playing, the Rangers versus Kilmarnock. Today I'm joined by my good friend Blue Star, and in the background we have Old School Blue and Fox. How you doing, guys?
Aye, doing fine. JFK, Fox and Old School Blue.
Afternoon, guys.
Well, looking forward to the game today, guys. I think we're just going to get the team read out to us in a couple of seconds. There's quite a few changes that we never thought would happen, but if you want to give us a team, Blue Star, you got it there?
It's McGregor in goals. It's Tav, Katic, hang on, Goldson, and got it here, hang on,
Halliday. You want me to read it? It's McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Halliday, and in
Kamara,
the middle,
Koulibaly, Davis, Candeas, Kent and Morelos.
Yep. So what do you think of that team, Blue Star?
I find the midfield very strange, mate. He's playing three guys that haven't played together. It's one of the ones that might it might be very profitable to us. On the other hand, they might struggle a wee bit, but here's hoping that it works for us. I think I'm quite right in saying that. I don't think Kamara, Koulibaly and Davis have played together. Can MD rectify that?
I don't think they have, mate. Are you surprised that young McCrory's not got a space in the team there?
100%. I think we all are.
I think we were all thinking, obviously with Arfield and Jack out, that there might have been a place there for young McCrory. I couldn't, for the life of me myself, I couldn't see even Koulibaly getting a spot in there. Davis is a surprise, but as Fox had said before, that he's the only creative midfielder that's fit there now, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a surprise. Katic is quite a surprise for me as well. Although I do rate him, but I think they heard me. Worrell's been playing no bad. So Halliday, as we said last night, I think most has agreed that he'd been there in place of Barisic. But anyway, guys, before we go any further, if any of you would like to come in, speak to us here on Rangers Radio, you can call 0141 356 or 1972, or you can get us on rangersradio.online and Skype. Come on there, and Fox and Old School Blue will get you straight in. So the team today is a surprise to say the least, Blue Star. Young McCrory's on the bench. Up front, he's not made any changes which we expected. Do you think that Koulibaly and Davis being there, how do you think they'll perform with Kamara in the midfield?
Well, I think looking at the three of them, I think you'd need to think Koulibaly will be the sitting one, along with Kamara, and you're expecting Davis to try and get forward to be the creator.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can see it. The other strange one, Jimmy, is Grezda. I see Grezda's on the bench as well.
Yeah, I see that as well, aye. The bench is Foddy, Worrell, Barisic, McCrory, Grezda, Lafferty and Defoe. And the gaffer did say yesterday that Grezda had done 10 to 12 days intensive training, you know, so that'll be interesting. Interesting again to see that, you call him, young Middleton's not even getting a look in again. No, so he's brought Grezda straight in there. So, I mean, how do you see the day panning out with the likes of that attack as well? You know, you're happy with keeping the same three up front with Candyman, Kent and Fred? Or we were talking last night about maybe possibly putting Defoe or Lafferty in just behind there if we had lost Jack. Supplement that. What would you have thought of that?
Yeah, I think most of us did think that, but at the same time, he's obviously thinking, well, we do need goals. Candeas, Kent, Morelos is basically, that's been his top three. The other interesting thing is, I I'm looking at it here. Davis, Koulibaly and Kamara, as I say, they haven't played together. He's looking at it. He's left Worrell out. He's went back to what we started with right at the start of the season with Katic and Goldson. But it seems strange that he hasn't brought him in before now. You know what I mean? With the three up front, yes, he could have brought in Lafferty and Defoe, we all know that. But it's obvious he thinks Candace, Kent, Morelos is his preferred option, you know? Yeah.
We've been joined by Fox. Afternoon, Fox.
Afternoon, guys.
Fox.
What do you think of the team today, mate?
Kind of shocked at some of the decisions. Quite happy with the back four. Nice to see Katic getting a start again, although I would have kept Worrell on the team and maybe get Goldson a rest out the two of them. Midfield, as Blue Star said, it's an untried midfield. But considering the injuries we'll probably go to Jack and Arfield, it's probably about as good as we can get. Personally, I'd have had Barisic in at left back and I'd had Andy Halliday in instead of Koulibaly in the midfield, adding a wee bit of his left feet on the left side, hang me. And Andy's quite keen to have a shot for outside the box, which a lot of our midfields are very slow to do. I think today it'll be down to mastering the conditions, and unlike Tuesday, we need to be precise with our passing. We've got to make the right decisions in the final third and get the ball to the front three, who for me, as I've said for donkeys on here, both Candias and Kent need to get into the box to support Morelos instead of staying wide and leaving some room for Tav on one side and Andy Halliday to put the balls into the box for me.
Yeah. I cut across you there, Fox, a caller in. Good afternoon, Rudy.
Hi, Jimmy, how are you doing?
Not bad, pal. Saw the team, aye?
Aye, just saw it there the new, Jimmy. A few changes,
Yeah, isn't it half?
Aye, quite surprised really to see Koulibaly in, Stephen Davis in. Not so much surprised to see Halliday at the back. I'm surprised to see Katic as well, though. Yeah. Worrell's on the bench. I think Bridgman said, I listened back to the archives last night, Jimmy, and I think it was Bridgman that had said that Worrell probably been the best centre-back for the last few games. I quite agree with that, actually. Yeah, I think it has been. So I'm surprised to see Katic back again. It's a huge game today, Jimmy, isn't it? We need the 3 points, don't we? You know, but hopefully we get a performance today off them. Koulibaly's there, Stephen Davis is there. They've got to get into the box and help Alfredo out. As Fox was just saying there, Candace and Kent have got to get in the box and help out as well today. Simple as that.
It's an untried midfield trio. They've never played together before, so that'll be quite interesting to see how that pans out for us today. Because obviously Stephen Davis is the only attacking midfielder we have got there. So I'm surprised Koulibaly. How do you feel like that McCrory's never get first shout instead of...
Me personally, I would have had McCrory ahead of Koulibaly, Jimmy. That's my honest opinion. I think since Koulibaly at the beginning of the season, his first few games, we were all kind of raving about him. You know how good a player he was, and you know I think some of us were saying at the time maybe we should be looking to sign him at the end of the season. Then he got that big injury. And he's just not been the same. He's been a shadow of the player he was for the first few games of the season.
Aye.
And I'm sure at the end of the season, I'm sure he'll go back to Onge. But McCrory, he's a player. He's a good young player. I don't see any reason why Koulibaly should be in ahead of him. In all honesty, Jimmy, I would have had McCrory. I mean, I know he's on the bench today, but I would have had him in the team today. You know, he's ours. He's a good player. We haven't lost many games when he's played. Young McCrory's played, and I'm sure it was Blue Star said as well. He was talking about the game against Aberdeen, how he ran the midfield for us in the second half, you know, in the 4-2 game, and he certainly did. He had a fantastic game that day, the boy. So I'm a wee bit surprised to see Koulibaly. Maybe Stephen Gerrard's are looking for strength in the midfield today, you know, so he's put Koulibaly. Maybe he thinks he's a bit stronger than McCrory. Maybe that's why he's there, you know.
I mean considering the team it's out, you know, I still think it's a decent enough team, Rudy. And I think the rest of the guys think, you know, I mean, okay, I mean, it's an untried midfield. And obviously, our front three are the ones that were always there, and there's that wee change with with Katic and Worrell. Obviously Andy Halliday, but I mean I'm a fan of Andy Halliday like the rest of us, but he's in there in merit as I would think. But that there is a good enough team surely to beat Kilmarnock at Ibrox today. Would you not think?
I think so. Like you were saying about Halliday, Andy Halliday's never really let us down at any point. All right, he's had one or two poor games, but then who in that Rangers team hasn't, Jimmy? You know.
Yeah.
But in the main, Andy Halliday's no let us down. I do think Barisic, between the two of them's the football player. You know, But for me, Barisic doesn't have that wee bit of fire in his belly that Andy Halliday's got, and he's never really let us down at left back, as everybody keeps saying. So I'm quite happy with that. Stephen Davis is the one for me the day that's he's got to up his game the day for me, Jimmy. You know, he really has. I don't think we've got very little of him since he came in January, which I'm a bit disappointed about because I was one of the Bears that was quite pleased to have him coming back. But he's got to up his game now, Jimmy. You know, 9 games. We've got 9 games between now and the end of the season. There's not much to play for, but we need to try and get closer to them on the other side of the city. Stephen Davis undoubtedly has got the talent, but don't know if he's got the legs anymore. That's the problem, I think, with Stephen Davis. He's 34, is he? No, maybe
34. He's 34.
He is, right. He's
36
34.
The 4 is, but he's 34.
What
about you, Blue Star? Do you feel that he's in his last legs, but he's got a lot to prove to us in the next 9 games,
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. But let's be truthful here. Since we got him in January, he hasn't done anything.
No.
I mean, it's not. You can't even say that the games that he's been in, he's done much because he certainly hasn't. But the other thing for me was, I agree with Fox, as well as Davis try to get forward to support. I think Candace and Kent, we've got to see more for them helping Morelos because you can't just rely on Morelos all the time. They've got to be cutting inside and at least shooting, you know, because I think we're badly lacking in that area.
Yeah, we've said that all along. Just been joined there by Blue Shadow. Afternoon, Blue Shadow.
Evening, Jimmy. How we going? Or afternoon, Jimmy, should I say. How we doing, my man?
I'm doing fine. Thanks. How are you?
Excellent. No so bad. Got an opinion on the team?
Yeah, let's hear what you think about that team today, Blue.
I'm glad to see Katic back. I think the guy's been a bit, I don't know what the correct word would be using, but he's been overlooked far too often. For me, that was the team that went, I don't know how, was it 11, 12 games or something at the start of the season without conceding. And so it'd be great to see, if those two can strike up the relationship they had then. Andy Halliday at left back, I think that for me today, if you're wanting the front three to play a bit narrower, as Fox was suggesting, and I've been saying for a while myself as well, then that unbalances the team for me. Andy's got great heart. He's never let us down. Well, I'm sorry, he did let us down last time he played for me, but along with a lot of other players. But that's because that's 135 minutes we've had a total gross from our team over the past wee while. As regards to the midfield, Koulibaly, was a fantastic player at the start of the season. Whether he can come in and put it on tonight, I think the thing that Koulibaly's been brought in perhaps over McCrory is Koulibaly stays on his feet more. He's less liable to jump in and get himself booked and put himself under pressure. Kamara, we've all held, apart from the last game, he had some great performances out of him since he's arrived, so he deserves to stay in the team. Stephen Davis, has he got the legs to get up and down the pitch like Arfield does for 60 minutes at least? I guess time will tell. Can he get forward and support Morelos? I would doubt it. And will Candace and Kent get off the wings? No, unless they've been expressly told for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great to see we Gresta back. At least we've got some cover for the wings in there. Lafferty and Defoe, well, I don't know what the thinking is there. If he's maybe thinking if I need the goals, I can go 2 up front. Maybe that's the switch he's thinking there because we know Morelos can't operate with anybody else, it seems.
Yeah. Fox was saying earlier on, it's something I do agree with. I mean, would you rather have seen Barisic playing and then Halliday put in there instead of Koulibaly? Do you think that'd have been better for us down the left?
I don't think Andy's strong enough in the tackle. You need that extra physicality in midfield that perhaps Koulibaly offers. I like Andy in midfield. He's good on the left-hand side, but you do need somebody, So you'd have to either drop Davis or Kamara to fit him in, rather than Koulibaly for me. You need that, Matt. You need that one person that sits around in front of the back four just to anchor the midfield for me.
Is there any chance you would have played McCrory ahead of Koulibaly, Blue Shadow?
Yeah, I could. I certainly wouldn't complain, but I think perhaps what the gaffer's thinking is McCrory, as we know, he's prone to doing, his second touch could be a tackle quite often, and when he does that, he dives in, and there's so often, you mean, I'm sure you're the same yourself, you've got, oh no, he's going to get himself booked, you know, the way he does it, and perhaps that's what he's worried about. Maybe we'll get McCrory coming on a bit later, especially if Koulibaly gets himself booked, and also as well, Koulibaly's fitness, he's not going to be 100% match fit, that's for sure, so we may need to change him around the hour mark or something like that. So, and then, you know, McCrory's got a good chance to influence the game, because we know that, for me, McCrory's advantage over Koulibaly is when McCrory does get the ball, he's far better at getting the team moving forward than Koulibaly is. Yeah. Koulibaly's get the ball and pass it to, you know, a bit the old-fashioned defensive midfielder, get the ball and pass it to somebody who can do something with it.
I mean, Kilmarnock today are playing the usual suspects, you know, Clubfoot's there, and Dicker and Power, and then obviously up front you've got Big Malumbu with Brophy. So I mean, we need to go on our guard against that. I see that they've not even got the boy Jones in the squad at all.
That's what he did last time, wasn't it, mate? That's what worries me a wee bit, because it looked like the same old sort of formation. Yep. So what worries me is if they go and put what they did last time, put the 5 in the middle of the midfield, 5 against, what you're ending up with, 5 against 2 sometimes, because you're expecting Davis to get forward, and the poor fella is more deep lying these days. We see him playing, so I don't know whether he'll have the legs to get up and down.
Yeah. Well, they're saying they're setting out 4-1-4-1, but I would imagine they'll go 5 across the back. Blue Shadow. I think they'll just come and do the same as everybody else. What about yourself, Blue Star?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. The other strange one for me, guys, is Katic and Goldson. I need to be honest, I agree with Fox. The last couple of games, I would have said Worrell was far, far better than Goldson. The only thing I can think of there is he's reverted back to basically what he started with the season. Katic and Goldson being our players and Worrell being the loanee. But it just seems strange that Worrell, the last half a dozen games, has been, I would say, the mainstay at the back. And then all of a sudden, the day he's dropped and he brings Katic back in, who's not had a sniff. So, it's strange.
It's strange in the fact that even Worrell's not even on the bench. It's not as if he's dropped onto the bench, guys. It's just he's
on the bench, Jimmy.
Oh, he is. I've read that wrong, guys. That's upside down the sheet I've got. He's at the bottom. Well, he's on the bench, but I agree with what Blue Star's saying there. You know that it has. You know my feelings on Worrell, but I've got to put my hands up and say that he's been one of our better performers, even when we weren't playing all that great. So I'm surprised that obviously the Katic has shown something in training that's allowed the manager to pick him today. Malaby's no surprise.
As we're saying, that last game there, the one that we're all sick about, out the whole team, out with McGregor, I would honestly have said Worrell was our best player. So all of a sudden, he's been dropped to bring Katic back in. As I say, we know the first 10 games in that he played Katic and Goldson together, but since then, he's not a sniff.
Blue Star, it's a huge shout he's made today, because if you go back to Friday against Hibs, and then you come forward to the game on Tuesday when Aberdeen put us at the cup, there's two bad results. If we get another one the day, that's a massive call that Stephen Gerrard's made bringing Katic in my opinion.
Enormous, Rudy, absolutely enormous, and that's what Jimmy and I were saying earlier on there. I know they've played, don't get me wrong, but the midfield, with those three not even having played together, they are enormous calls. They really are.
Yeah. Is this a look forward to next season?
Well, Katic is going to be here next season, isn't he? But Joe Worrell won't be. He'll be way back to Forest. So maybe he's thinking for the last 9 games of the season, maybe it's time to figure Katic more often, which I think he should have been doing up to now anyway, as the season has went on. But to date, in the last 9 games of the season, when we really just all we've got left really is to try and get closer to them on the other side of the city. Especially the day after the last 2 results, Blue Shadow, as I said, I just think it's an enormous call to put Katic in there when he hasn't played much football for us.
It's not just Katic, Rudy. If you look at the team, Davis and Koulibaly, there, are they going to get contracts? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at. Thinking this is a team looking at next season to see whether. So to me, that just
better look at them, Blue Shadow, maybe between now and the end of the season, then the last 9 games to make his mind up.
Well, he already said, guys, that he said last week when we were talking about it, sure, that we weren't convinced with Davis, obviously, because let's be truthful, he's not been match fit. That's a certainty.
Yeah.
But he came out last week and he said that Davis will definitely be here next season. So he's made his mind up. He's keeping him.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to keep Koulibaly under any circumstances, but maybe this is an indication, depending on how he does, that he is thinking about keeping him.
Well, I'm not so sure about Koulibaly, to be honest.
Neither am I, but it's just the very fact he's put him in the other day, especially when he hasn't. None of they 3 have played together.
It just smacks of go and make a case for making me keep you next season.
Exactly. That's certainly what it looks like.
That could be the case. I see the referee today is what I would call him a rookie referee, Greg Aitken.
Aye.
So he's got to be strong today, you know, because we know what Kilmarnock are all about, and we know what they'll do with Fred, you know, especially Dicker and Power. They'll put themselves about when Fred's on the ball. So we need to be strong today, guys. We need to be very strong. As I said last night, this is new. The football and the guile goes out the window for me now. We need to be strong and we need to be grafting, and it needs to be blood and guts now to make sure that we stay in this title race.
Well, JFK, what I do like about it for once is we all know we've not been really great at corners. The one thing you can say about Katic, he gets on the end of corners in the opposing half, so you get a few goals for him with a head, so he can maybe upset them in likes of that area.
Yeah,
it's going to be really, really interesting because it's an untried team. It definitely is.
See, with Katic and goals, and that to me that was the 2 that I thought would be our mainstay centre halves, you know. Centre backs. I thought, going forward, that would be the team that it would build in defence. Obviously, Tav's got the right back, and Halliday and Barisic is messing about for the left. But they're the 2 guys that I would always say that going forward to next season, I'd love to see as our 2 centre backs, because we are missing a commanding centre back. You don't think so, already?
Definitely. And I thought that's what Macaulay would be when he came in with all his experience and everything. All right, I know he's kind of at the end of his career, but I thought with the amount of he's got bags of experience, Jimmy, and I thought that would be a good signing for the second half of the season. You know, he'd bring all that experience with him, be commanding, he'd be good in the air. But it's just not worked out, unfortunately. So I think come the end of the season, I think we'll see Big Macaulay go. Gareth Macaulay will be away, I think. But it remains to be seen what they do in the summer transfer. Sorry, Jimmy. Remains to be seen what they do in the summer transfer window. But certainly for me, Goldson and Katic done really well at the first few games of the season. They done well in games in Europe. You know, they certainly looked like they were creating an understanding together. And going forward, you know, maybe in the first quarter of the season going forward, I kind of thought they would be our sort of first names in the team sheets as far as centre backs go. I don't know what the story is with Katic. I don't know whether it's because of his age, but then Worrell is about the same age as him, so there's not really an age difference there. He just seems to prefer Worrell over Katic, and that's why I'm really surprised that he's brought Katic in the day, because the 3 points today, Jimmy, is absolutely crucial. The last thing we need today is for Katic, you know, a bit of a blunder, you know, at the edge of the 18-year box or something like that, you know, and to end up going a goal down because of a big mistake for Katic, you know, because God, I don't know what the airwaves would be like after that, you know.
I think typically, if you probably all agree that, I mean, it'll be another 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
Shot, you know. And let's hope it doesn't happen that an early goal scored by the opposing team, that the same as the Shaggers done on Tuesday night, because they just put 5 across the back right away. They changed it within seconds of the goal. and then that makes it so much harder.
Aye.
So we've got to hope that Stephen Davis, guys, performs and becomes that attacking midfielder we know he is and can create. Do you not think so? Aye.
Just mate, one of your last point about Katic though, Jimmy, just before you move on to Davis. I think Blue Star made a really great point there. Katic is probably better in the air at set pieces than either Goldson or Worrell. And maybe he's looking at Kelly's back 4 or 5 the day and he's thinking, they're a big, strong outfit, well organised. So he's kind of hoping, from set pieces and corner kicks, he'll get Katic into the box and maybe he'll be able to get us a goal with the head. Maybe that's what he's thinking, why he's brought Katic back in. As far as Davis goes, Jimmy, we need to get a performance out of him the day. He can't go missing the day. It's as simple as that, because that leaves you're then left with Kamara and Koulibaly in that midfield, and they'll try and dominate the midfield, they'll flood the midfield when they get the opportunity. So Davis has got to perform the day for me. He really has to give us something today. As me and Blue Stars already said, we've had nothing off him so far. He's got to perform now.
Can I come in there on Katic, Jimmy?
On you go, Pat.
Katic took out the team because he made a couple of basic mistakes. I'd like to hope that the likes of Gareth, Macaulay, etc. have been helping him work on his game, building his confidence back up, and maybe ironing out the few flaws that he's got in his game. And this is his first chance to prove it. And I hope the big fella does well today.
Yeah.
I like him because he covers the ground well, he's strong in the tackle, good in the air. It's his indecision that was where his basic mistakes came in. And I heard he was out for dinner with Richard Gough the other night, maybe another confidence booster for the boy. And I thought Barisic played well when Ingme was on the park with him as well. Katic, I don't know if that was just they got on well together, I don't know, but Barisic was definitely playing better when Katic was playing at the start of the season as well. Both of them have suddenly went half it for him. Yeah. So we can see how it goes. I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about the day. This is a Kilmarnock side that have scored 1 goal, an 87th minute winner against St Mirren last week, and they had failed to score in their 5 previous games. Right. We had beat them 5-0 in the Cup replay. A super show with young Alfredo scoring 4 goals. And let's hope that he can turn it on the day and bury them again.
Aye,
I can see the point of Katic. When you look, they've got O'Donnell, Broadfoot, Taylor, and Malumba. Right, so they're all big guys. So if you've got Katic either in defence for a set piece or a set piece for a corner or a free kick for us, then he's the man that can win it for us there. So in that aspect, Katic hopefully shown, and if Fox is saying there it was out with Richard Gough for a bit of chow and that, you couldn't sit and chew the fat with anybody better than Big Goughy, because what a player he was.
Yeah. Jimmy, as Fox said there about Katic, if we think back to about the first, I think it was about the first 10 games when him and Goldson were paired together. See, to be honest, I genuinely thought the two of them played great together. As Rudy and Fox said there was a couple of games where he did make mistakes and he was automatically dropped. And I think that there is a bit in it. I think his confidence just went, but there's no doubt about it. There is a player there. There definitely is a player there. So he can only get better.
I think we can be our own worst enemy, guys. You don't think so? I mean, here we're all talking about a team that we beat 5-0 a few weeks ago in the Cup. And we're all kind of, not saying we're doubting the ability that the guys have got, but I think it's because it's probably the results we've had in the last couple of games that have kind of put us in that downer that, are we doubting ourselves today? Are we happy with the team? I'm happy with the team, personally.
I think what it is, Jimmy, I think it's, as you say, it's the last 2 results. Had we sort of went away to Easter Road, came back with a 3-0 win, and then Tuesday night got through to the semi-final of the Scottish Cup and another big day out for the Bears at Hampden, we'd be going into this game with complete confidence, really, wouldn't we? I think it's, as you say, it's the last 2 results, where we just haven't performed, apart from the first half against Hibs when we should have had the game tied up by half-time. since then, the other sort of, the Aberdeen game, well, we've said enough about that. We don't need to keep going back to that. But that's probably what it is, Jimmy. So you're going into this game today. We all know we need a result today. It's as simple as that. Failing the day just is not an option, It's meant to do with previous performances, isn't it? And also, I think, Jamie, the way we're feeling now.
I think we need to put some pressure, if we can put pressure on the puddle drinkers tomorrow. We know there's an 8-point gap, but we get that down to 5, and then let's see what happens tomorrow. But that's what we need to hope for on the day that we perform. I mean, like Fox said there, this is a team that's imploded in themselves. They've scored 1 goal. We beat them 5-0 last time we played them at Ibrox. So it'd be great if we beat them 5-0 today. And I think we're more than capable of beating them quite easy. And it's a big game.
It's an interesting one there. Do you reckon we're going to get 90 minutes out of Davis today with what we're asking him to do? Because who do we replace him with? The only way I can see of working that is if Davis needs replacing is to move Andy Halliday up to midfield and put Barisic up.
I think you'll bring on Gresda, mate.
Aye.
In his place.
Well, we've played Gresda in that place before, Fox, and it's no work, has it? I remember him playing there. It didn't go too well.
I can agree with you, but he's never been really fit. He's had a good battle out, mate. He's been fit enough for the last 2 weeks, I think, and I would say that'd be the natural replacement for Steve Davis if Davis tires.
The one game I seen Gresda playing really, really well, and it was the one game at that wee naff, Strachan came out and hailed him. The light bulbs was when he was playing for them against Scotland, and he played in that role, guys. You thought he was playing as a winger, but he didn't. He was actually playing in midfield, and he actually did. He played really well against Scotland in that game. I would go as far as to say he played better there than what he's done with us
I thought he was man of the match that day. Blue Star, I watched that game. I thought he was outstanding.
He was brilliant. He was really good.
Yeah.
But that's a good shout, about Gresda, because I'm like yourself, Blue Shadow. I'm a bit sceptical whether Stephen Davis will last the 90 minutes. He's no proof to us this season so far that he's capable of that. So that will be an interesting, because especially when we're going to ask him to play today, it'll be interesting to see how he does day if he lasts the 90 minutes. But I'm the same as yourself. I'm a bit wary that that's not going to happen. But putting Gresda in there, I agree with what the guy said. I remember I don't watch Scotland, obviously, as I've said before, but I remember the reports about Gresda playing that night against Scotland, and there was a lot of plaudits about him, and he played in midfield that night. So we'll wait and see what the gaffer does today. He's a real player.
Jimmy, can I bring up a point about Tav?
There you go.
If you don't mind. I was watching a thing. Anyhow, it plays in Tav's position, and here he mentioned the 3 of them. He mentioned 2, and then he mentioned James Tavernier at Glasgow Rangers, and I went, "Oh, what's coming here?"
That Trippier.
Trippier, that was him. And he mentioned, he says, me as a club, he says at Brighton, he says, I know, he says there's a few clubs watching this guy, Tav. He says he's one of the best. He says his position and going forward. He says he works in great balls. It was just like you know, it shows that even the English teams, they are keeping an eye on us. And a lot of that's down to not even the way we're playing. A lot of that's down to because of our manager. I would say the interest in coming for England now is massive to Rangers.
I'd agree with that to a certain extent, and the fact is that Tavernier was whipping good balls in and that, but recently he's not been really doing that, and
I know that.
He wants to take every free kick that's gone, and I hope that changes in months to come. If he's still at Ibrox.
Well, Jimmy, we're always slagging him with. A lot of folk are always slagging, saying he doesn't act as a captain. See the very fact the last few games, and I would agree with you that he's been grabbing the ball to try and take it. Is that not him trying to show a wee bit of authority? I know he's not been doing it, mate. But at the same time, he's maybe saying to the rest of the players, look, that is him trying to show a bit of authority.
Well, I'm looking for the day, and I think you guys, lasses, honest. I mean, I'm looking for Kent and Candace to put on a performance today and help Fred. And you're obviously looking for Stephen Davis to be a good attacking midfielder. But the candy man for me is the only wide right player we've got, but you could call a real right wide player. We don't have anybody to replace him. And sometimes I think, I'm not saying he burns his cell out, but he gives his all.
Oh, he doesn't half.
Him and Kent have got to, and Fred comes back and gets the ball in the midfield, as we all know anyway. So we're looking for a good performance for A3, but I'd like to see Fred get a wee bit of help there up front, because I think it's going to be a feisty game. And I'll be interested to see how Koulibaly performs in the middle there.
Is that no part of our problem though as well, Jimmy? Candias is a wide right man, but he's a wide right man on the right hand side of a midfield, not as a striking attacker in a 4-3-3.
Yeah, you're right.
Rudy, look at the amount of times we actually see Candyman back in defence. I mean, during the game, he's back there quite a lot. He covers some amount of ground, and as you say, we know he's meant to be playing as an outside right, but quite often he's no. He's back in midfield or he's back in defence covering all the time.
But he's not supposed to be playing an outside right. He's supposed to be playing on the right side of front three strikers.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
That's
that.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying. He's playing as a right wing, which is why part of why we're not getting enough players into the box. And really that the width should be coming from the wing back.
That's right. As I'm saying. That he should, Candace should be doing that a bit more, but he's no. And I'd like to see him and Kent doing that more often, try to come in and help Fred. But I mean, the Candyman's crosses at times for me are sublime. Some of them are you could put them right on a sixpence, all saying. But some of his crosses lately have been quite poor. So I'd like to see him, make more runs into the box for the wing instead of just whipping the ball in all the time, as he's been doing the last couple of games. As I say, Koulibaly for me, I'm not saying he's a concern today, but I'll be interested to see how he fits in today, because I'm trying to look here how many minutes he's had in the last 6 games, and he's not had a lot, guys. So I don't know if that'll matter much, but I say that the midfield we've got there is an untried midfield, and the only time will tell. Davis, I'm concerned a wee bit about lasting the 90 minutes.
No, I don't see it. I hope he proves us all wrong, Jimmy, but up till now, let's be honest, he's not even lasted a half. I think he's lasted a half, 2 games after that?
Yeah, I would say so. But I mean, on the bench, obviously, we've got McCrory, Barisic and Gresner. I don't see what Defoe and Lafferty's going to bring to the game, if anything, unless it's Fred scores another 4 and brings them off to give him a rest. It's a strong enough bench in its own way. I would like to see Gresner start some part of the game, and for tactical reasons other than that, I'd love to see him go on the park. I think Gresner's a cracking player, guys.
Gresner can play anywhere, Jimmy, across the front 3 apparently.
Aye.
So he's quite a utility player, So you've got Candace on one side, Kent on the other. If it comes maybe 10 minutes into the second half, with that, and we're still looking for a goal, and none of one or either of them are no performing, it's time to give Gresner a run out, but the boy's he's got to go in and start performing. He's got to show us why he's here and why we paid that money for him now. So he has, he's obviously fit enough to be in the bench. He's obviously fit enough to play. And if it's a case he gets a run out the day, he's got to contribute properly the day. He's got to start contributing now. Because as far as money goes, finances goes, for both him and Barisic, we forked out a lot of money between the two of them, Jimmy,
you're you look at the team that we're putting out today. They're all our players apart from Kent and Davis. So yes. I mean that's all our players there. So we want to be playing all our own players. I know, unfortunately, Jack's no there, and Arfield's no there. So, but Koulibaly, Kamara, and Davis for me, I think are going to be pivotal today. Because they're an untried trio, and I think if Stephen Davis can perform, I'd just love to see Stephen Davis give us a magic 45 minutes that he's gave us when he's here before, and that would do me, definitely. So
sorry, Jimmy.
On you go.
What I think is key today is that we push forward and press their back line because it'll compress the game and it'll make it easier for the likes of Davis to last longer and to create chances. I want to see our ideally same as the last time we played Kilmarnock, and it would be just nice to see our back line 10 yards inside our own half.
Yeah. So, how do you see the game going today, guys? What kind of results you think we'll get today?
I'm going for 3-1. 3-1 to Rangers, Jimmy.
3-1. Blue Star.
1.
It's a difficult one, guys, because of the team. I'm going for 2-0. See, to be honest, guys, 3 points, and I'd love to see us no conceding a goal, because I think that would give Katic and Goldson real confidence at the back, and the manager.
Yeah. Blue Shadow.
It's going to go one of two ways, and I'm going to go for the positive one and say 3-0.
Yeah. Fox, how about you?
I'm going to agree with Blue Star. I see it being 2-0.
Me, I'm going to go for a riot today again, guys. I'm going to go for a 4-0.
Good on you.
I really think that no, I might have sounded a wee bit concerned about the team at the start of the programme, but I mean, the guys obviously in their merit, so we'll give the gaffer the benefit of the doubt that the middle three, they've got to perform better than ever performed before, especially Stephen Davis. So I'm going for 4-0, a Fred hat-trick, and I think we'll beat them very, very, very comfortably today.
Jimmy, that's a huge turnaround for you, mate. At the start, you were really cagey.
I was cagey, but when you start to discuss it a wee bit more, I mean, we all know what Kamara and Davis can bring to the team. I say my only concern is that Davis is what Blue Shadow had said earlier on about his fitness and stamina. Koulibaly, as I say, he's had a lot of minutes, but the front three take care of themselves. The back four, I don't have a problem with, in the fact, as I just said, but why is he playing Katic instead of Worrell? I don't have a problem in playing Katic because I really rate Katic the same as the rest of us. So, and Andy Halliday for me, I've said it all week, I'd play him there instead of Barisic. I know that other guys would say Barisic, but I know I've kind of flipped a coin there, Blue Star, but I'm going for a 4-0. And I'm hoping that
Jimmy, I'm genuinely no bothered with the defence at all. I'll tell you why. I don't see them really having a go at us at all, because it's all to do with the midfield. See if we can have control that midfield. I don't see them getting near us, to be honest. I really don't.
You're bang on, Blue Star. I say this week in, week out. If you control the midfield, 9 times out of 10 you win the game. It's as simple as that, and that's what they've got to do today. Because they will flood the midfield at times, when they're coming forward. They get the chance to break out, they'll flood the midfield. So we have to get a grip of the midfield. And, Koulibaly's got to be up for it today. Stephen Davis has got to be spraying passes about, trying to create the chances. Yeah. And Kamara's got to get back to what he was doing before the last game, and giving us a really good performance. Because the boys undoubtedly got talent for me. But yeah, you're right, Blue Star. We have to get a grip of that midfield today. We really do.
Yeah.
You need your best players in midfield, don't you, Rudy?
Aye, 100%. And I say this and I probably drone on about it, and probably everybody gets fed up with me saying it, but I can't get away from the fact that if you control the midfield, you win the game. It's just 9 times out of 10 you win the game. The games are won and lost in the midfield, and we've saw it quite a lot this season where we've no managed to control the midfield, and we've either been beaten or we've dropped points.
Yeah.
So we have, So they've got to get a grip of the midfield today.
So that'll give Ox plenty of ammunition for you next week, Rudy.
Okay, guys, that's the end of our wee pre-show today. Remember, after the game, 15 minutes after the game, we'll be here after the final whistle. Join us here on Rangers Radio. I'd just like to thank Rudy, Blue Shadow, Blue Star, Fox, and Old School Blue and the technicals. So this was Rangers Radio, so please enjoy the game, and we are the people.
Let's get into them.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.